This composition makes a ton of sense. Life going to the Nico. We've seen him go towards a decent amount. There's enough engage on the comp, even outside of having a primary engage source, which I think the Nico doesn't really excel at.
That has been their biggest weakness, as you were alluding to, as Pyosik does have control of the top side of the map with his bottom lane that are up there. Lahen's looking to wrap around as one of the grubs will fall to the DN Freecs. Can they get another one? That's going to be the question here as Shape Splitter comes on through.
Gideon got one.
Yeah, managed to get one of them, and now Pyosik is in trouble yet again. Seismic Shove is good. The bullet time is going to rain on through. Actually gets a fair bit of damage down, but Geo actually standing his ground here as Lahen's not actually going to go down. Finally, Bulldog finds him as the Pop Blossom, the flash to follow Geo as Bulldog gets over some rocks, but still will be able to finish off the Ezreal, and the DN Freecs, they win the fight and they take most of the grubs. All right, Bulldog does get snapped back. That is a dash, and so he does stun himself. But looks like the DN Freecs will be able to grab themselves a dragon. And Nongshim not actually interested in fighting for this one. Wanted to give Geo a little bit of time towards his top side of the map.
Doesn't sound very believable, Atlas.
All right, well.
I could see, you have definitely have some similarities with Han Solo.
Well, I mean, I have worn a belt before. In fact, I may be wearing one now. Some upgraded shoes could certainly go a long way for this composition, as it's not going to be this particular objective that they'll be able to pick up. That's Gideon collecting that one.
I'm not allowing myself to feel excited for the DN Freecs until I see another team.
I still, like, even though they have a gold lead, I don't even think they're ahead. But it looks like Pyosik just going to start this one up, and with zero vision control, Nongshim are just going to have to concede feats of strength to the DN Freecs. They're doing it, Chronicler. They're at least going to pick up the feats of strength.
Infernal Rift on the map as well.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
Also, looking at what the DN Freecs have.
And Muramana is exactly the same thing. Look at that tier, 282, such a good item. Okay, Rift Herald not going to quite be able to take the turret, but it looks like Kingen is going to just brute force it. Pop Blossom lands onto 2 as Public Execution gets Dudu into the backline, but Calyx is there to save his 80 carry. And Kingen on the side is going to mean that Berserker cannot walk up to try and get that extra damage down. And now without too many ultimates left, the DN Freecs lose a lot of their power. And that's Nongshim finding just a really good skirmish, putting them in the lead now as far as that gold.
The idea...
Okay, we're looking for even more here, as in goes Lahen's. They take down the Yone. Can they get anything back? Berserker does a lot of damage. Lahen's finally falls, and it's Life that actually picks up the kill.
It's fine.
Oh.
This might be a bigger problem.
Yeah, Gideon has decided to bring his friends as the Solar Flare is going to connect. It looks like Dudu is very, very dead. The minion wave is gone, but look at that. No one even lost health.
Lahen's took like
4 turret shots or something?
Yeah.
Just fine.
Yeah, he's Leona.
Yeah, that's certainly working. As Pyosik, it's his turn to park himself underneath this turret, realizing that that is going to be a lost cause and does exit the area. That is only going to extend this gold lead here for Nongshim.
Past multiple members of Nongshim. Also can't really do that, and it's that disjointedness that is the core issue of DN Freecs, right?
Yeah.
And then we want to see them fix. They are still very much in this game.
Q just going to be taking care of these minions where he can. Fantastic minion Mystic Shot accuracy. As Nongshim going to take their first dragon, that's going to be an Infernal. Possible Quad Infernal is a very scary prospect.
Fine, just don't stack the buff and become paper and die.
Yeah, also don't turn immediately because as you can see, they've lost a bunch of resistances.
Oh,
Shot Barrage is going to cut Bulldog in half, almost literally. As Dudu looking for a flank angle, but he finds Kingen. Now it might just be a bit of a top laners battle as this 4v4 is going to erupt. In goes Lahen's. Pyosik taking a lot of damage as we can see. Pop Blossom not going to connect onto the main carry in the bullet time. It will get rid of the Pantheon, and Pyosik takes down the Otacon. But can they get themselves out of there? That's the question. As they get all of that experience, all of that adaptive damage.
Gotta be careful.
Yeah, no, this time around though, it's like they did something real bad. As Lahen's going to find Pyosik. Does have that frost armor and stuff like that. He's going to be pretty tanky. Solar Flare going to hold him in place though as Life gets to line up the Pop Blossom. Berserker will cancel that ulti pretty early as Calyx trying to get on top of him. Kingen getting in amongst it as Bulldog going bananas, and it's Dudu that grabs a double off the back end. He's now trying to dance his way out of it, and Nongshim just fall apart in the team fight, trying to focus down this Pyoshik, who is a champion now and doesn't really need to try too hard to be one.
We take a look. So we go all in on Pyoshik, who, as you mentioned, has Heartsteel.
Heartsteel, Frost Armor.
I know, I can't wait.
Nongshim just started Baron.
Yeah, they're looking for the turn, right?
There's a ward in the back of the pit here. Seismic Shove going to throw Pyoshik away. He's looking to try and just get himself in there to try and take a steal, as it's not going to happen. Dudu trying to get on top of Gideon, PopBlossom into the backline. Pyoshik still going to go down, though, as Kingen looking to dash away. Nongshim just needing to keep these Barons alive. I just saw that the jungler got it, so it was probably fine.
It was fine. It was flash though. So I think he E'd the Q3 and then Bulldog got them with the ult, so Gio had to flash.
Yep.
DN Freecs, they still get another shot.
I could understand is a pretty good thing to do. The blast cone still up and available. Bulldog going to cut through that one as now Calyx looking for the angle. The double shove going to connect Life. Going to have to go golden as Calyx does the same thing. PopBlossom still going to be channeled though, and Life helps take down the Taliyah. He's happy to trade his life for it as well, as now Bulldog is just dead. Kingen going golden as well as he looks to dash away. But Berserker is a monster in this game. And with only Gideon and Gio alive, I don't know whether they're going to be able to defend this dragon.
Oh, the range. Gio's trying to play to it.
Yeah, Pyoshik moving on in as well, and he is a true tank right now. Gio gets flashed on here by this Sejuani, and he is not going to get away. Yeah, he still has cleanse, by the way.
That's Soul!
Yeah, that is just going to be Soul picked up.
They're getting Soul Atlas! What? Is it happening?
Why does Gio still have cleanse, Chronicler? Here's the silver lining. They're guaranteed top 2. That's okay. Kingen clearing out vision where he can. This Baron is just going down. Gideon wanting to get some vision in there. Down to 6k. They get a control ward across. Calyx holding his own as they have spotted Dudu on the flank. Glacial Prison will connect. PopBlossom on a 3 again as Life has been so good. Bulldog diving into the backline, but Gio, he gets himself out of the way. And they do go 1-for-1 here, but the mid laner traded for the support once again isn't great. They take down Calyx though, and that gives DN Freecs a huge advantage.
I don't know about the Baron though. Gio is still alive, Kingen's alive, Gideon's there, they're going to try.
True shot barrage.
I don't think they need to go for this Hail Mary.
Yep, that's a legit amount of damage as Pyoshik continuing to get softened up as Kingen moving in, snip, going to connect there as Dudu just goes down. Pyoshik looking for that turn angle, but now it's Nongshim finding it. Berserker cannot kite, and the DN Freecs have thrown it all away once again as Life, he will remain alive, but he is the only one that will, as once again the ultimates from Gideon have been laughable at best, but it does not matter!
No! They had it! They could have just leave! You have Infernal Soul! You don't need to flip the game! You're not actually that perfect! Well, now you are! Now the game is done! Oh my god.
Did you hear Gwen's little giggle as he dashed over the wall there? And this has been swings and roundabouts in this game, right? Like when we think someone has a lead that's going to be difficult to come back from, the other team finds an angle.
In the same way you do see, it's the depth of that gold graph. Up until that point, it was always very close. The swings were on you, but now the swing is massive. Yes, DN Freecs. They still have a great team fight. They still have the combo. Bulldog can sync up with Berserker and Life.
Oh dear. The Weaver's Wall does make sieging just feel so much more comfortable as well as they take down the turret. And Lehens, yeah, they pseudo-engage onto the Leona, and then they remember it's a Leona. And so Lehens, like later on in the game as well, when you've maxed out the Eclipse, like the Leona is like very, very difficult to take down. And so focusing on Lehens, taking him out at the beginning of a lot of these fights like they have been doing, it looks fantastic. A little bit janky and old-fashioned at the beginning, but now looking good as Life is going to PopBlossom Calyx and then go golden. Okay, teleport is still coming through. There is the dash cannon. Finally throws some rocks at him, goes golden himself as Gideon's come back down, but it looks like Calyx is going to be dead. Dudu dashing around like a madman as in goes Lehens, and Bulldog's looking for it. Gio not going to be able to kite this one out. And like I said, swings and roundabouts, Chronicler. The DN Freecs are looking for it, and you tanky, but he ain't tanky enough, Kingen. And Lehens is on the wrong side of this. I don't know what he's doing here, trying to pull a wave or something like that, but he's dead. That's going to be an ace. That should be Elder. And the DN Freecs, it is now their turn to have the game in their hands. For better or worse.
Like maybe, no, Talia's going to be up. You don't have Nash. Oh, okay, well maybe it works, but oh, this is stressful.
Well, they lose the minions, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so
no, I think they've done it.
All right, 2 seconds on the Talia. Giu's up in 5. The Weaver's Wall is going to come down. Does it get rid of the minions? That's the question. Seismic Shove is decent, and they cannot do it. They cannot do it. Dudu is going to be taken down so low. It was a Hail Mary.
You could have just gotten the free Elder!
Well, I mean, if you're going to go with the theme of the game, Chronicle, if you remember when they went for the Baron and threw the game away, it was also a little bit of a, you could have done X, but they did Y. Pop Blossom looking for the backline. Life finds yet another great angle. Pureshik going down low, but he doesn't die. It's the Snips. They're able to take him out, and Nongshim are standing their ground. Life running the wrong direction. There are pings onto the Nexus. And it's now Nongshim's turn to see if they can end this game.
Okay, but wait, they don't have TP.
All right, so maybe instead they're just going to do the Elder?
So they will do Elder.
Aha. And then win the game? No, I haven't really noticed. There's been a lot of things in this game that have not necessarily gone the way that was written on the tin. How we say a lot of that stuff about the tin.
Are we the problem? I feel like this has happened with disproportionate amount to us.
This is like going to the supermarket buying baked beans and inside there's a cat. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
I'm so confused.
I signed up for this thing, and it's not the thing.
You just signed up for beans?
Yeah, it's like you're like, I thought I paid for
signed up
Netflix.
For beans?
I signed up for a Netflix subscription, and I've got like a gym membership instead. It's like, that's the opposite of what I'm paying for. My brain it's gone, but now we've got a siege on the Nexus. One Nexus turret left remaining as in goes Kingen. He's going to take a lot of damage. The Pop Blossom is decent, but there is a big, angry Dragon. Geo able to use his Arcane Shift to get out of the way. It's a triple for the Pantheon. It's a quadra for the Pantheon. It could be a pentakill for the jungler of Nongshim, and there it is!
Oh!
And now they're going to end the game, I guess, after they've taken down the troll inhibitor. This game could not be any more weird, but congratulations to Gideon.
Their own base is getting minions.
Yeah, it is.
They could just hold on for a little longer.
Much like when Ari was first released and I was watching Chaos play her on day 1, he was playing her top lane, okay? She started off as a top lane champion in my experience. Kingen could do it.
Atlas. No one even knows who you're talking about.
Papercraft
that one
comes to mind as
Origami
one of the best.
and Nivea.
Yeah, very, very cool. Oh dear, Life may be dead, but does have a Haymaker. And Berserker now looking for Gio, just needs a double tap, and that's first blood! That's Life set, baby! As DN Freecs off to a great start in game number 2. Press the attack working out super well for this Lucian. And he's still able to put on a lot of pressure. Pickaxe in hand, and that is going to work a whole lot better than the longsword. As Life, oh yeah, you activate Hex Flash, and you are just feeling so good. Look at him, runs towards the hands. There's the dash around, Piercing Light gonna come through, but they just kill him. Still, it's a 1-for-1 trade. As Giu looking to proc that passive, will be able to get a fair bit of damage, but it looks like Berserker is gonna be okay for the moment. Game can be stalled. Nivea's power isn't quite as high, but it's still good.
Might have a fight.
Yep, Pureshik going to get the flash out, and the flash immediately to follow there as ulti from Gideon to try and keep his 80 carry safe. The barrier comes in, but it's not going to be enough, and that's a kill going over to Berserker. Bulldog now in trouble as almost Lahan's picking the gap. Facebreaker is decent, but Calyx getting on top of the enemy mid laner. Gideon might have to sacrifice himself, though, and that's a double kill for this Lucian, who's off to a phenomenal start. 4-0. Every kill for the DN Freecs is on their main carry as Dudu trying to win out on this one, but that is just going to be Kingen down to egg form.
And I wanted to talk about, you know, thanks Umpty for forever changing the game of League of Legends.
Yeah.
He was a part of that as well. Oh, no.
Killer Instinct. Life is going to break some faces and then get a big old shield, and the hook is going to land. So he's dead. We're going to be taking all of these.
Cute little layout to make sure that the passive damage actually kills him.
I'm choosing me for everyone, not me. Okay, Kingen is going to save us from this conversation. And Life looking for an angle. The wall is just wandered through here by the set. And the bird is definitely dead. Down it goes, cooked.
Kind of thought Kingen was just going to straight up try and ult the wave there, but
Just not even a thing. So Nongshim not going to have any right to walk up. And so therefore, this Dragon going to be going down. The DN Freecs going to start that one stacking. 2,000 gold is their lead. It's a real gold advantage, much larger than they had in game number 1. And Pioshik going to get to work on getting some feats of strength.
how many people do you think have actually played BioShock?
Oh no, is that an old man thing as well?
Came out in 2007.
Oh god, did it? Crazy. The game is quite old.
I'm pretty sure it's 2000, the first one, yeah.
But it was remastered relatively recently.
Yeah, there's a ton. You know, the newer ones are not that old.
Yep. Oh man. So like there's a lot of the like BioShock references that like, would you kindly? People don't get that anymore. Oh man.
Throw a dragon.
Oh, that's true. Wow, that would be earlier. We need to keep predicting things, because then not that will happen. As here's another knock-up onto Pioshik. Wind becomes lightning from Gideon as Lahan's just standing in amongst it. Pioshik actually going to swap positions here with Gideon. The Cyclone not really doing too much, though, as Lahan's will finally go down. Calyx on a decent angle, though, as Kingen trying to make his presence known. Gets down the ulti, but it's kind of out of the way of anything that's doing much of anything at all, as the Ahri's going to fall down, and Kingen Dudu just ignores the wall entirely, and he's now looking to break some eggs. As Berserker in the back of this pit is looking pretty comfortable.
They're low.
And they're flashing towards Berserker, who just gets himself out of there. There's the superplex, and Jiu's going to be able to take down the set. That's Kingen getting some work done, though. Somehow didn't die in the last fight. Flashing for something. I guess they're not going to roast that egg, as Pioshik going forward one more time. They'll find the kill on to the bird, and then look for Gideon. Lahenz comes on over. That's going to be enough to protect the Xin Zhao, but it does not protect Nongshim from DNF getting yet another dragon. I don't have an outcome to focus on. This is the problematic part, as the clone tanking up even more. Lahenz just looking to make a play. He finds it even after the relentless pursuit, but life there with the superplex is going to be able to keep his AD carry alive. The rest of Nongshim now in a little bit of trouble as Gideon cannot ult them away enough, and he knows that he's dead. Equalizer goes down right on top of Jiu, but I think that was slightly optimistic there for Dudu. Still, they get exactly what they wanted, as Kingen in the top lane is taking down an outer turret. There we go. You go, little birdie.
Atlas, have you seen
Picks up some money.
Shrek 2?
Yeah?
Life right there, that is the best reenactment of the I Need a Hero scene I have ever seen.
Oh, I can see it.
Right? He, like, Berserker gets flash hooked, and you can just hear in the distance, you can hear the Fairy Godmother singing. Life runs in, they're not throwing it out of con, things are fine. They're not throwing it out of con, they just get it and leave.
They're just doing an Otacon, and they are going to get it. Pioshik does just use his Warrior Trickster, but there's a nice little stun. Pioshik's going to be dead. But they still have Otacon. They can just walk away.
Just leave.
Bulldog cannot just walk away. The hook is going to be there. There was a glacial storm on the ground, and so he's dead. But 2 kills for an Otacon. A little bit of a dangerous spot. They do still have control vision in the area. As Piercing Light coming on through there. Bit of a slowdown as we got the zoom in, man. Gideon moving forward. There's the knock-up onto Pioshik. They want to kill him before the Warrior Trickster goes out, as Calyx misses every button. Kingen's coming on over, though, to make it all stormy. And Gideon has to throw down the ulti to keep himself alive, and it does not do that at all. Realm Warp comes in as Dudu flashes on top of Kingen. He flashes away, though. It's a decent wall, but Pioshik's got a flash of his own. He's going to be able to get over there. Decent little stun, but it's not going to be enough to save the birdie. And even the set comes over with a Haymaker, and that's going to take down the Anivia. Berserker gets to work on this mid lane as well. And the outcome of that is even more good things for the DN Freecs. They'll grab Soul Point as well, and the inner turret. Everything is looking DN Freecs here at this stage of the game. Oh, yeah. Works 60% of the time, every time. And this is working this time. The escape from Kingen. Walks his way out. Okay, Calyx sidesteps the Harpoon. Dudu is so scary, man. 2-0-4 on this Rumble. Very far ahead. Gideon now going to get engaged on one more time. There are a lot of Pyoshiks all around this map, as Gideon does have the ulti running. It keeps him alive for a little while longer, but Bulldog's able to finish him off. A fight on a couple of fronts, and it's all being won by the DN Freecs, as Dudu is so strong. Goes golden, and they just cook Jiu. Calyx just takes a little bit of a right side exit, and the DN Freecs are going to get some real damage onto the enemy base. This inhibitor turret is going to go down, the inhibitor to follow, and this time around they've got some Void Mites, they've got some minions, there's no pesky Talia to remove stuff. Calix is still going to be here, but I don't know whether the heroism is going to last this long. As Bulldog, we're going to try and force him onto the fountain and force them to a Game 3. The DN Freecs keeping themselves in the series. Out of nowhere.
I could see it.
That'd be
And then
so
afterwards, they pause the game and give a deep inspired speech about friendship.
Absolutely.
Family. Lens, but also Gideon should be playing towards that.
Ooh, King is going to get slowed down here as the train comes on forward. King knocked up. That's down to 100 health. Is this Jace? Does get the hammer boop, and Dudu going to have to find a flash forward. Doesn't have a whole lot of mana, doesn't have the way to finish him off. Didn't trust the tap Q to kill him.
When she's not able to approach without being poked to have health. And we'll also see Calix, who now with his Merc Threats done, is in a much better position and can just kind of shrug off.
Oh, Paranoia comes on through. There are the Brambles down from this Maokai, who does get a little scared. Berserker's moving in, but this Maokai is extremely tanky. DNF will look for the opportunity just to take down the grubs. It's one apiece so far, as Pioshik actually has to flash out. That gives Gideon a guaranteed grub here, even though his smite is on cooldown.
That's why I picked Maokai. I really can't give enough credit for for the draft that Nongshim have set up for themselves.
Is the Family Guy Star Wars movie.
Okay, no, I did.
Which is extremely good.
No, Atlas, I'm going to give up. You know, I know we had...
Oh, man, that was close.
That was very dicey. Nicely done by Pioshik.
Yep.
No, I feel like I've run that joke kind of into the ground.
Yeah, fair.
And
as Lehens could just be dead here, as he finds the Wild Growth. I actually kind of thought that had already been used, because it took them a really long time to try and take down a Lulu, as he even just walks up to that rush as well. Like, how did he get away with this?
He didn't flash. We're not quite there.
17 minutes 26, I think.
All right, that makes sense.
And it was DK versus Gen G. I think so, but this is not going to be that, because Giu's dead now. As the Paranoia comes in to finish him off. Set play, nicely done, as Calix looking to try and answer that, as Berserker going down pretty low as well. Gideon moves over, but life is there for the defense. And so it's 14 minutes that we have a first blood in this game. Not going to be breaking any records, but they also take down the turret. It's time to drift. Both of you, quickly, into the river. Let's go back to the 1v1. Okay, never mind. We've got a twisted advance. Bulldog could be in a little bit of trouble, but never mind. The re-engage comes through. Great knock-up comes through from Life as they look to try and single out Kingin. Not a massive amount of damage here, but Giu is so far away from the fight that he could not contribute in any meaningful way.
It might
be okay. Oh, Calix, he gets the good one. That is an R button, if ever I've seen one for this Sylas. But yeah, looks like outer turret in the mid lane going to be picked up. The tempo plays, the macro moves from the DN Freecs looking crisper and crisper.
They're just clean.
They're just better today than what we've seen from this team almost all season long.
It's easy to forget, but they were fine during the LCK. They weren't great, but they beat Nongshim during LCK Cup. That happened.
Yeah, it's his teeth, man. That's all I think about with that movie. As, all right, Bulldog seeing whether he can survive as the kitty cat's chasing after him. They will get the snare, but the Mikhails is in from Life. It's going to keep him alive. Turret does go down. Feats of strength as far as the first turret blood were already taken as Calix. He's running really quickly, different to driving. Are we okay? You're looking quizzical at me.
I think it's happening.
I mean, it's looking pretty good. Another Cloud Soul. It was so
way!
powerful there from Bulldog. And Life, he has the quickness running. It is going to wear off as their health bars are looking lower and lower. Kingin still will be able to deal with this turret. He will be able to take that one down as Super Mega Death Rocket. The delivery of death towards Bulldog as he gets home. And that is not quite aimed at where he was, nor was it aimed at the fountain. As, okay, there's another crash, this time from Dudu, as Calix, he can drive away at a moment's notice. And that control ward was looking a little dicey. Inner turret falls down on the bottom side of the map, and it is, it's some craziness here in this game. 4,000 gold is going to be the lead here for the DN Freecs, though. Okay, Dudu is a brick wall.
Bulldog has ult.
Yeah, flank angle here for Calix as well, though. Let's see. Yoshik is running out of stats in the defensive department. This is still dangerous as Calix walks in.
Oh,
Chain Lash coming down. They're looking for the turn. The Brambles flying forward. Paranoia comes on through, and that is going to be secure by Pioshik. The car moving past Nongshim here as the quickness from Life. Looking to try and catch up as the Paranoia used in defense by Calix. And the DNF, I mean, the DN Freecs, they just walk away with the Otacon, with everything. Everything's good.
The whole point here on this Cloud Drake.
Yeah, and it looks like Nongshim have no interest in trying to contest for that one.
They're not really in a position to be able to. They need Geo to get a third item. And he is not rich. This Jinx is not well fed. It's rough.
It's a little bit of the entire gold lead, or at least a bit over half, is on Berserker. Just doing a little bit of a death check. Nongshim have no kills, and so therefore...
Engage Maokai, I'm not a fan of that list. It's not engage Braum, but it's not great.
Yeah, Dudu able to engage himself because he just walks in front of people.
Look at it, taking damage. Oh, he's definitely taking damage.
Whoa, he almost took damage.
He's only has 3,500 health.
Oh dear.
Down to 3.
A few more people hitting him. As, okay, Flame Chompers are good, as Pioshik not pressing the R button, decides to go in on Gideon here. But the DN Freecs not finding the same value this time around as Life goes in. Quickness value is massive, but Gideon, the Sap Sipper, is working out, but the train is in! And Dudu's able to take down the tree, and now it's Bulldog going ballistic. Berserker there as well, pushing Calix out of the fight. Lehens, he may die this time, as he gets a big old shield, but it's another charge up. Down goes Geo, and the DN Freecs, it's only Calix left alive, and they want to get themselves a Baron.
Nope. I don't think they're playing for Baron Atlas. I think we're going for a...
Calix? Okay.
Okay, I can explain
he's
this.
catching the wave.
Well, so he thought that they would go Nash, and I think he TPs to try and catch the wave and delay, because they were pinging for the end.
Yeah.
So I actually think that was a good play. Like,
I guess. I mean, it was a very confusing one.
Yeah, no, that was warranted. League is a construct, okay? so it was a perfect game.
All right, well, Cloud Soul, that is real. I refuse to believe otherwise. So that will go over to the DN Freecs. Dudu, press star.
Kingen is dead.
Kingen is dead. What he was doing there, I don't think anyone will ever know. I think scholars are going to be researching this for years to come without much information actually going on over their way. As Gideon getting a little bit of disengage value with the Bramble Smash.
Yeah, Geo is not getting his IE this game, I don't think. And even if he does, I'm fairly certain we've gone past the point where it really matters to actually deal with both the engage from the DN Freecs, but even your turnaround and your attempt to make a play when they maybe go in a little bit too deep, it just doesn't seem likely.
Well, Dudu's just going to crash into Gideon. Brambles do come out though, the Nature's Grasp working out here as the polymorph onto Dudu. He's still just immune to damage, which seems unfair.
There's no IE. He's not taking damage, Atlas.
Nope. And so they just take down the inhibitor turret. DN Freecs, like you say, slow play. There's the IE.
It doesn't even need to be about Rapid Star in particular, but more so because something is new.
Yeah, some little adjustment, and it has certainly worked out. And it's not even that, like, I looked at this draft and I thought Nongshim were in a great position. Just not the case, as 2 inhibitors now down. The circling of the drain has begun here. It's Nongshim to defend this. They're going to have to start something, and it's actually Dudu that starts it instead. Crashes into the inhibitor. Will take... Not really. I almost said he took damage, but it's not actually going to be the case. As Gio's going to have to use everything to try and get himself out of the way. Dudu may actually die as the zap is going to come through, and finally, this Jinx gets excited, but then immediately gets taken down. It's Berserker with a double kill to almost finish this off before it's even started, as Kingen, the last one left standing with any sort of meaningful damage. And Berserker is just picking them off. Gideon goes in. Gideon goes down. Berserker wanting to find the pentakill, but it's denied by Bulldog. Bulldog going to set up the kill onto Lehens, who may not actually die here, but DNF! They're going to break the losing streak and start a one-game winning streak here in the LCK instead.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.